Don't tell me to get off my ass. I'll do what I
Get off your
want.
ass, girl.
I'll do what I want.
Okay. There's a chair if you want to grab that for yourself. There's one left for later, so that's for Rocky.
Okay.
Welcome back. Take two. So if you've watched our previous video, and I'll see if I can whack somehow a little link up here to show, the tractor stopped and we thought it might be the starter motor or the battery. During the week we swung by and picked up a new battery, so we've got a rather expensive battery, so we're going to replace that and see if it works. And it'll either work, which is great, or it won't, which means we're narrowing it down probably to starter motor, which, you know, I'm kind of optimistic it's not, but I've got a sinking feeling it is. So we're down in our driveway, beautiful clear day. We've got Rocky and Odin and the boss in her director's chair to tell me what to do, and we might grab a bevy and a light bevy, not a heavy bevy. I don't mind a heavy bevy, but it's a light bevy I prefer. And we'll get stuck into it, eh?
Sounds good. Don't inhale it though. Chew food.
You're off me to make a start?
Go for it.
Alright, they're the right size. Look at that. Crap. So I'll take this off. Always disconnect the negative first, because, you know, if you touch the body, you're not shorting it out. If you take the positive off first and you touch the body and the negative's still on, of course you're going to get a little shock. So I'll just show you this. This is the earth. I don't know if you can see that or not, but that's the earth wire. And as I say, just wrapped around a little washer.
It's going to be heavy, hey?
Not really heavy, it's lighter than the one we've got.
Is it?
Yeah. Got it?
Yep.
Down. Look at that. So now pop that back on.
He wants the chair.
He wants the chair.
Mine.
He's out, been working for 15 minutes. He's already had enough and wants to go home. So. Yeah, alright, well. That's the battery replaced, put back together. I'm not happy with the wiring, especially those little ring terminal things. I'd like to replace those over time, but they're back where they were and they're actually better than they were. So theoretically, if it was the battery, should just connect it and it should work. We'll find out, won't we? No.
Damn it.
Nothing. All right, so I guess it's a process of elimination. Brand new battery, tested, works well, cost enough. Wired it up correctly, all the terminals are there, like they're all connected properly, they're not loose. And still no power, not even any power now. I mean, when the other one was in there, we had power sometimes, but to get the power we had to connect it to the battery direct. So it's either a broken wire, but even then it was just clicking. I still think it's the starter motor, so we'll see how we go. Jodie's going to put these side covers back on. So that was interesting to have a look behind there. Really just a fancy cover, and that's the switch for the clutch. Obviously you can see it moving there. So you have to have your foot on the clutch to start it, which is fine. So we've released that as well, but again we're getting no power at all. So If anyone knows if there's a fuse box in this thing, let me know. I've only found the one which I've bypassed, and you know, there is a up inside up here where I can't get to it, there's a black box, looks like a CDI or a computer for the engine itself. But yeah, other than that, we'll plod along. Welcome back to take 3, I think, of fixing the UE tractor. So if you've watched the previous video, you'll know that we tried to jump start it, you know, just hook the battery straight up the starter motor. It didn't work. We put the video up and spoke to UHI Australia. Absolutely brilliant, no questions. They watched the video and said it's a starter motor, so they sent us a new one, which came in the mail, weighs a ton, last week, and completely under warranty. Love it. I can't fault them for that kind of service. While it was on its way, we grabbed that new battery. I probably have already posted this, but we've replaced the battery just on the off chance it was that. But either way, a new battery doesn't hurt. What I'm going to try and do today is to change the starter motor over. Usually pretty simple. A couple of little bolts, or nuts I should say, that you take off for the power leads, and 2 bolts that pull it straight out of the engine, out of the crankcase, out of the flywheel area. Not crankcase, the bell housing. Get it right, Jason. Normally a pretty easy process, but I'll show you in a second where the starter motor is located and what's in the way, and yeah, we'll see how we go. Let's give it a go. So as you can see, this is obviously the bucket arm, bolts onto the tractor, and just in here you can see that over there is the starter motor. And you know, I've got to take those nuts off and get the power off there, so I might have to get underneath to do this. So just to give you an example of how the motor sits inside the inside the engine bay, this goes inside the bell housing. As you can see, 1 bolt and 2 bolts hold it in. This one might be okay to get to if I can get underneath. That one might be a bit interesting. And then underneath this cover here, those are the nuts you take off. This one here, that goes straight to the battery, and this one is your relay or solenoid relay, which I'll do. Don't know how well the filming will go. I'm on my own and I've lost my clamp for my GoPro, but I'll do my best to film little bits of it as I go along. Let's get to it. So that's the wiring off. Geez, I hope I remember where it all goes. So I'm going to climb under there now and see if I can unbolt it. Let's give it a go. That's the old motor, that's the new one. So they're identical, which is great. So that's the starter mounter bolt and the socket. So that stays together. Everything slides on this slope, which is a terrible thing. That one, that's a 7mm socket. That does the little connector leads. this one here, which goes to the battery, that's a 16mm. Well, yay, my battery went flat, so I don't know how much of that I got, but I've taken the starter motor out. I put the new one in. It went in reasonably well, actually. It wasn't that hard, just a little difficult to work around that arm. I put the wiring back exactly as it was, tightened everything up, I've checked everything. So what I'm going to do is turn the isolator back on. Make sure you turn that off before you start mucking around with positive wires under any vehicle, because you'll spark. I'm going to clean all the crap up here. And I don't know, it'll either start or it won't. There's power. Okay, so that's very interesting. I hooked it all back up exactly the way it was. Turned the isolator on, off, key in the ignition, turned it, my foot on the clutch, plenty of juice, like the dashboard came up, everything worked really well. Turned the key and of course there was nothing, didn't even hear the starter motor clicking or anything like that. The funny thing was, I thought, do I check the switches as well? So I went through headlight, hazards, indicators, but when I hit the high-low beam, all the power shut out like it blew a fuse. So now I'm wondering if it's just a simple fuse problem. And my question is, where are the fuses on these tractors? So at the moment, as it stands, the tractor's beat me 3 times, but I do have a brand new, good quality battery and a brand new starter motor. Obviously it's not one of those. Any thoughts? Well, I just popped up to the house and looked at the video that I recorded, just to make sure that I put the starter motor back where it belongs, the wiring. Hey, come here. Come on, let's go down this way. And yeah, I did. So the battery's wired up correctly, the starter motor's wired up correctly. I think it might be a fuse. So I went back and had a look, and I do have a manual for what's called a TE280, which is the manual that came actually with the tractor. So I jumped in there and had a look at the wiring diagram. It's in Chinese English. It does show that there's a fuse box, very small, kind of shows the shape of it. I jumped online, had a quick look under the tractor. It comes up with TE280, Photon 280, all these different brands, but they all look pretty much the same, little tiny box with fuses in it. It says it's in one of the panels on the side, so I'm just going to go down on the off chance I can find it, and if I can, I'll check the fuses. You know, process of elimination, I guess, isn't it? See how we go. Who's that? Come here. Oh, look at you, hey? Should we go down and have a look at the tractor? Come on. So online and everything else, they say take off these covers. We've done this before. We had a look in there, we couldn't really see anything. You probably can't see it in there. There's a little box as well. I don't know if that's it. That's really hard to get. So as I said, the wiring for that is done properly, and the wiring for the starter motor in there is all good. checked and everything else. That's why I think it's electrical, because when you put the light on it goes off. So I guess there's one on each side. I might just take this one off and we'll have a look. Would have been better if I bought a drill. Trying to do this with one hand's going to be fun. That's one screw. Oh, a little rusty. I might replace those with some stainless. Oh, it's not so bad. So let's have a look up in there. So let's try the other side. It does make sense. The fuse box would be like easily accessible, doesn't it? Like, you don't think you'd have to disassemble half a frickin' tractor just to get to a fuse. You know, don't think that's gonna... Stuck. Hopefully that one screw there. So let's have a look in here. I think, I wonder if that's the fuse box there. That doesn't look like it opens up. I'll put this down for a minute. So that's not the fuse box. It doesn't open in any way, but makes me think it's up in there somewhere. You're going to have to climb up into the tractor to have a look in there. So let's have a look under the hood. So that's the fuse box. Which is great. How the hell are you meant to get to that? Oh, hang on. Alrighty. So if anyone's looking how to get that off, it has two clips on the top and two clips on the bottom. And there's your fuses. That one, and that one, and that one, and there's one more there, and they're the fuses. So that's actually good. It's nice to know. UHI, very inconvenient spot, or whoever made the tractor, that's not good. But I can get to it. I'm going to have to go though and get some sort of small pliers to pull them out, because my rather fat arm finds it difficult to get them out. What I might do, because these look low budget, is when I go to work tomorrow, I'll go to the Auto Pro shop and I'll buy a whole bunch of these spade connectors. Better quality, I hope, and I'll just replace the whole lot. Ready to go back? Ready to go back? Odin, come on, let's go. Run, 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 run. Oh. You know, I'm pretty happy. My life's pretty complete. I've got a beautiful wife who loves me. I've got a great kid. He's got a fantastic partner. We live out here in the bush, in the middle of the New England Highlands. Beautiful weather. But nothing beats just going for a walk with your dogs, eh? It's fantastic. It certainly brings an extra level of joy in your life. All right, well, I think that's it for today. I don't think I'll be finishing the video. I think I'll actually go get the fuses and put them in and make one big one. So stick around. If you have this far, you've got more patience than I have. And hopefully in a few minutes you'll see me swapping out the fuses. Yeah. Welcome back to day 4 of the tractor fix. So the first day 1 was the fact that the tractor broke. Day 2, I put a battery in. Thought I'll go and get a new battery, it won't hurt anyway. Day 3 was putting in the new starter motor. Thank you, UHI. Really nice of you to send that through. I think that was the key issue, but even when I put it in, no power. So I'm going to swap out every single fuse and relay. Cost me $100 in fuses and relays. So I'm hoping that is the day 4 is it, we'll see, you know. Process of elimination, I guess. We know the battery's good, we know the starter motor's good. It's all wired up right, still not working. So next step is the fuses and the relays. If that doesn't work, then there's definitely a short or a broken connector somewhere. So hopefully this is it. We'll see how we go. I'll show you my little man, he's sitting there, hang on a sec. What are you doing? Hey? Did you want to go for a drive or something, did you? So that's all the fuses I bought. Well, that's not, that's water to drink. That's them there. I went and bought Nava brand relays. So I don't know if you have them overseas, and fuses as well. But Nava brand relays and fuses are in Australia reasonably good. So, and I've got a little pair to get them out. To show you where the fuses are, this is the UHI254 25 horsepower tractor. I've popped the bonnet, hood, front bit, and then just underneath here you can see the fuse box. Not exactly easy to get to. So that one there. Let's pop a new one in. One. Next one is a 30 amp, which I think is a starter, so it'll be interesting to see what this one looks like. And yeah, no, that looks good too. Let's replace it anyway. Swap out these. So it's a 6800, which is, I'm hoping, that's a 4-pin. So as you can see, let's put that in. There we go. There's one above it. That's the fuses swapped out, relay swapped out, new battery, new starter motor. Let's see how we go with that. So, key in, and you can still see no power. Back up to the house. Hopefully day 4 continues. Or it'll be a day 5. And then who knows. So I honestly don't know what it can be. New battery, new starter motor, new fuses, 3 out of 4 new relays. Pop down and check it out, I guess. That's all I can do. Day 4? No, day 5 of fixing the tractor. Still sitting where it was 2.5 weeks ago. I'll probably recap this in this video already, but yeah, it broke down. Someone suggested the battery, bought a new battery. Someone suggested the starter motor, and thank you, UHI actually sent us one. That may have been the problem because it was sounding like it was a starter motor to start with. We then changed, that didn't work, so we changed all of the fuses, all of the relays, and we've still got no power. So when we turn the key on, there's literally just now no power coming up on anything. So we think it might be a short somewhere. We're going to do a bit of a trace back from the battery, starter motor, ignition switch and see if there's maybe a broken wire or a loose connection. If all else fails, I'm going to make a little jump setup, and that basically takes power from the positive straight to the starter motor relay, the solenoid, and because it's a diesel, if everything's right, it should start. So we'll see how we go. I don't know how much talking we'll do. Might have a little bit of music overlay on this one because our neighbour down here,
Rocking.
because he's close to where the front driveway is, he's got his music pumping, which is good for us because we actually get to listen to it. So,
But not good for copyright.
but not good for copyright. So hopefully it's quiet enough where YouTube, you'll take some pity on us and let us put this up. So we know there's power in the battery. That's bridging it there. So this is the isolator switch. So the first thing we do, we can see in there, that's power's going to that straight from the battery. There's no power there, but if we turn the switch on, we can see it's grounded.
Yeah.
Which means if we touch anywhere on the tractor where there's a negative, it's grounded.
Yeah.
So we know that switch there is working. Which is there.
Oh, there we go.
And there's a red wire that comes at the back here. So this red wire here takes power from the battery. If you poke this into there, see I'm getting a red light?
Yep, yep.
That means power is going from this high tension lead to this connector, and then there's a red wire, which is a positive, that goes from this connector, and it goes up here into the wiring loop.
Okay.
And I would guarantee it's probably something like this wire here. There's the red one there.
Yeah, okay, yep.
Blue, white, yellow, black. And the wire that goes to the solenoid.
Oh my goodness, okay. Okay, you're coming up, are you? Alright, well if we fall down, we fall down together, hey?
So as simple as that. So that goes through the plastic, and you see how rusty that is. That's just the ring that was on it. So the ring sat on there, and that just goes over the top and bolts on. That's how it goes in the chassis. There's the 4 wires. Now the problem is it's a sealed unit, but I think if I go back and I've got a little somehow I might be able to pop some water displacement stuff in there, or give it a blowout with the air blower maybe, and then I'll see if I can connect that. Other than that, Joe, I think we're done down here for the day. We'll just load up the stuff and we'll go.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, so that's day 5 of tracing the problem with the tractor. I think it might be the little key ignition unit. We've got some power sometimes, some power not. And we can hear things ticking away. I've gone through all the connections. They all seem to be connected well. You can hear things ticking when I plug and unplug them. There's power going to this, but I think it's not going through to the rest of the system that needs to start it. So we'll go and have some fun and clean it up and dry it up and come back in tomorrow, because I've got things to do today, and make it day 6 of trying to get the tractor up the driveway.
Excuse me.
All good?
All good.
All right. So the concept of hooking up a starter motor to bypass all the wiring is pretty simple. I'll show you. You put the negative on the negative, positive on the positive. We'll take the negative, the earth, and what we'll do is we'll pop it on somewhere on here. So that's now grounded. And we'll pop this onto the incoming high tension part, which is there. So that's how it's, let's just not earth that. And that's how it's wired up in the tractor. So that should work. And then what should happen is when you turn a key, if you look over here, you get on there, see that? And then it connects the circuit to here. Yeah? So if you watch this far, you're more patient than I am.
Keep watching.
Keep watching and we'll see what happens. Ciao.
Where's it, Rocky?
Alright.
Shadows, shadows, gotta get them all.
So, yeah, come in the shot here a little bit. So what I've done is I've bypassed the whole starting system of the tractor. You can see that red wire goes to the solenoid. It runs around to the starter motor. You can see I've got the isolation switch. I guess the isolation switch is on. In other words, it should be grounded. What I'm going to do, much like I did with that, is I'm going to hook up the negative, the earth. I'm going to bypass it. I'm actually wondering if it's actually not grounded. So we'll see how we go. Got it?
Got it.
So I can't get in there with this. So I'm going to try a specialized extender. Yeah, you know what? If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Ooh. Yes!
Happy dance.
So, good to see it's running. We can take it back up now. I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
But the only problem is the electrics still aren't working. So at least I can use it. I just don't have any lights or anything like that, but I can get it up now and get the bike up. So we'll leave this idle for it, load everything up.
Yep.
So day 7, stay tuned.